Something is happening to millions of older adults right now that nobody is talking about clearly enough. They are eating carefully, cooking at home, choosing vegetables over processed food, genuinely trying, and then their lab results come back showing creatinine climbing, kidney function declining, and their doctor says the words that stop everything. Your kidneys are struggling. And the first question every single one of those patients asks me is the same. Doctor, what can I eat to help? Today I'm going to answer that question honestly, completely, and with the kind of practical detail that most videos on this topic never bother to include. Because the answer is not simply eat more vegetables. It is eat the right vegetables, prepared the right way, in the right amounts. Get that wrong, and a vegetable that looks healthy on paper can quietly make things worse. Stay with me all the way through because the preparation mistakes I am going to share are just as important as the vegetables themselves. My name is Dr. Williams James. I have practiced nephrology and geriatric medicine for 25 years. I have sat across from thousands of patients managing elevated creatinine, chronic kidney disease, and the fear that comes with watching those numbers move in the wrong direction. What I am sharing today is rooted in published research, National Kidney Foundation guidelines, and real clinical experience. No miracle claims, no overnight cures, just the truth, which is powerful enough on its own. Here is what most people do not understand about kidney disease. It is almost entirely silent until it is significantly advanced. The National Kidney Foundation estimates that 37 million Americans have chronic kidney disease, and the vast majority have no idea. Creatinine, the waste product your kidneys filter from the blood, begins rising quietly. Foamy urine appears. Nighttime bathroom trips increase. Fatigue sets in. And most people attribute every single one of those symptoms to normal aging rather than a kidney system under genuine stress. Clinical research consistently shows that dietary choices directly influence the rate at which kidney function declines. The right foods reduce the filtration burden on damaged kidneys. The wrong foods, even healthy-looking ones, accelerate that burden. Understanding the difference is not optional for anyone managing elevated creatinine. It is foundational. Think of your kidneys like two sophisticated filtration membranes running continuously every hour of every day. When they are healthy, they handle an enormous range of inputs without complaint. But when their filtering capacity drops, even by 30 or 40%, the volume and type of material coming through begins to matter enormously. Certain minerals, particularly potassium and phosphorus, pass through healthy kidneys effortlessly. But in kidneys already working at reduced capacity, those same minerals accumulate in the blood. Potassium at elevated levels disrupts the heart's electrical rhythm. Phosphorus at elevated levels pulls calcium from bones and hardens blood vessels. This is why the vegetables that help struggling kidneys are specifically the ones that deliver powerful nutrition while keeping potassium and phosphorus at levels a compromised kidney can actually manage. And this is also why preparation method matters as much as food choice, because how you cook a vegetable directly determines how much of those minerals end up in your body. The first vegetable is red cabbage, and it is one of the most underappreciated kidney-supportive foods available in any grocery store in America. Red cabbage is exceptionally low in both potassium and phosphorus, containing roughly 170 milligrams of potassium per half-cup serving. That is remarkably gentle for a kidney already working hard. But what makes red cabbage genuinely exciting from a clinical standpoint is its anthocyanin content. Those deep purple pigments are powerful anti-inflammatory compounds, and inflammation is not just a background issue in kidney disease. It is an active driver of deterioration in kidney tissue over time. Here's the preparation mistake to avoid. Overcooking red cabbage until it turns gray and mushy destroys the anthocyanins completely. If the color shifts from deep purple toward blue-gray, the beneficial compounds are gone. Eat it raw and shredded in salads or lightly steamed for no more than 3 minutes. Color retention is your quality indicator. The second vegetable is cauliflower, and its value for kidney patients runs far deeper than its reputation as a low-carb substitute. Cauliflower contains only about 88 milligrams of potassium and 22 milligrams of phosphorus per half-cup cooked serving, among the lowest figures of any vegetable available. The National Kidney Foundation specifically lists cauliflower as a recommended food for people managing chronic kidney disease. Beyond its mineral profile, cauliflower contains glucosinolates, compounds that break down in the body into substances that reduce oxidative stress directly inside kidney tissue. Your kidneys contain thousands of tiny filtering units called nephrons. Unlike most cells in the body, damaged nephrons cannot regenerate. Protecting remaining nephrons from oxidative damage is not just helpful. It is the entire strategy for preserving the kidney function you still have. The preparation mistake here is boiling cauliflower in large amounts of water and consuming it with the cooking liquid. Roasting with a light drizzle of olive oil or steaming preserves both the beneficial compounds and the texture. If your potassium is already elevated, boiling and discarding the water actually helps leach potassium out of the vegetable, which in that specific situation becomes a benefit. Discuss this approach with your nephrologist or renal dietitian. The third vegetable will surprise many people watching this. It is garlic. When patients hear garlic recommended for kidney health, the instinctive reaction is concern. But here is what the research actually shows. Garlic is not only safe for most kidney patients, it is actively kidney protective through multiple mechanisms simultaneously. The primary active compound in garlic is allicin, produced when raw garlic is crushed or chopped. Allicin is a potent anti-inflammatory substance with demonstrated blood pressure lowering effects. A published meta-analysis in the Journal of Nutrition found that garlic supplementation produced meaningful reductions in systolic blood pressure in hypertensive individuals. High blood pressure is the second leading cause of chronic kidney disease in the United States, according to the National Kidney Foundation. Any safe dietary intervention that reduces blood pressure consistently over time carries direct kidney protective implications. Here is the preparation mistake that almost nobody mentions. If you throw a whole garlic clove directly into a hot pan, the heat immediately destroys the enzyme responsible for producing allicin before it can form. You get flavor, but lose the therapeutic benefit entirely. The correct method is to crush or finely chop your garlic, allow it to rest at room temperature for 10 minutes, and then add it to your cooking. That 10-minute rest allows allicin to fully develop before heat exposure. 1 to 2 fresh cloves daily incorporated into cooking is a reasonable and evidence-informed target. If what you are hearing today is giving you a clearer, more practical picture of how to protect your kidney health through diet, subscribe to this channel right now. I bring you honest, research-based guidance specifically for adults over 60 who deserve real answers. Subscribe and stay with me. The fourth vegetable is red bell pepper, and I describe it to my patients as the precision vegetable. It delivers extraordinary nutritional value with minimal metabolic cost to struggling kidneys. Red bell peppers are low in potassium, low in phosphorus, and exceptionally rich in vitamin C and antioxidant compounds, including beta-carotene and lycopene. These antioxidants protect the delicate blood vessels surrounding your kidney tissue from oxidative damage, one of the primary mechanisms through which kidney function deteriorates over time. Research published in Kidney International found associations between lower vitamin C levels and greater prevalence of kidney dysfunction, consistent with the well-established role of oxidative stress in chronic kidney disease progression. The preparation mistake with red bell peppers is cooking them at very high heat for extended periods, which degrades vitamin C rapidly. Roasting briefly until tender, using them raw in salads, or adding them near the end of cooking preserves their antioxidant content most effectively. The fifth vegetable is cabbage's cruciferous relative, broccoli. Broccoli contains a compound called sulforaphane, which research published in the American Journal of Physiology has linked to a reduction in kidney fibrosis, the process by which healthy functional kidney tissue is gradually replaced by scar tissue that cannot filter blood. Fibrosis is one of the key mechanisms driving kidney disease toward its most advanced stages. Sulforaphane appears to interfere with the cellular pathway that initiates this scarring process, a finding that has generated genuine interest in nephrology nutrition. Broccoli is also low in potassium relative to many other vegetables and contains meaningful amounts of fiber, which supports the gut bacteria environment that indirectly influences kidney inflammation levels. The preparation mistake with broccoli is identical to garlic in one important respect. Sulforaphane requires an enzyme called myrosinase to form, and that enzyme is destroyed by heat before it can do its work. The solution is identical. Chop or break your broccoli into florets and allow it to rest for 3 to 5 minutes before cooking. That brief resting period allows sulforaphane to form before heat exposure. Light steaming rather than boiling preserves both the compound and the mineral profile most effectively. A patient named Meredith came to see me at 69 following lab results that showed her creatinine had climbed to 2.1 over 18 months. She was a careful woman who had been eating what she genuinely believed was a kidney-friendly diet. Plenty of vegetables, home-cooked meals, minimal processed food. When we reviewed her diet in detail, the problems became clear. She was consuming large daily servings of spinach and tomato-based dishes, both high in potassium and oxalates. She was boiling her cauliflower and consuming it with the cooking water, and she had never heard of allowing garlic to rest before cooking. We rebuilt her plate around the 5 vegetables we discussed today, prepared correctly, in appropriate portions, working alongside her renal dietitian and her primary physician. 6 months later, Meredith's creatinine had stabilized at 1.8. Her energy had improved, her foamy urine had reduced. She told me something I have heard variations of many times before. She said, "Dr. James, I was working so hard at this. I just needed someone to tell me I was working in the wrong direction." Knowledge used correctly changes outcomes. That is the entire point of this conversation. Here is your practical starting point today. Begin incorporating red cabbage, cauliflower, garlic, red bell peppers, and broccoli into your weekly meals, prepared using the methods we discussed. Raw or lightly cooked. Resting periods for garlic and broccoli before heat. Color preservation as your guide for red cabbage. Ask your doctor to check not just your creatinine, but your potassium and phosphorus levels at your next blood test. Those numbers will tell you how carefully you need to manage mineral intake from all food sources. Request a referral to a registered renal dietitian if your creatinine is above 1.5 or your GFR is below 60. A renal dietitian can create a personalized eating plan based on your specific lab values, which is more precise and more effective than any general guidance. And if you are in stage 4 or 5 of chronic kidney disease, please do not make significant dietary changes based on general videos. Your nutritional needs at that stage are highly individualized and require direct professional guidance. Your kidneys have been filtering your blood without complaint every hour of every day for your entire life. They have never asked for recognition. They have never demanded attention. They have simply worked. What they need from you now is not a miracle. It is awareness, the right foods, the right preparation, the right portions, and the right conversations with your medical team. Meredith did not reverse her kidney disease. Nobody can promise you that. But she slowed it down, stabilized it, and got her energy back. That is what informed, consistent dietary choices can realistically accomplish, and that is worth fighting for. I want to ask you one question in the comments below. Which of these 5 vegetables are you going to add to your plate this week, and which preparation mistake surprised you most? Tell me. Your answer may be exactly what someone else watching this video needs to read tonight. Please share this video with someone you love who is managing elevated creatinine or kidney disease. The preparation details alone could make a meaningful difference in how their next blood test reads. Subscribe and stay close. Next time, we are going to talk about the morning habits that silently accelerate kidney decline in adults over 60, habits your doctor may never have thought to mention. Your kidneys are still fighting for you. Now you know how to fight for them. Everything I have shared today is general medical information based on research and clinical experience. It is not a personal diagnosis or a replacement for care from your own doctor. Always consult your physician or qualified healthcare provider before making changes to your medication, diet, supplements, or health routine. If you have been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease at any stage, work directly with your nephrologist and renal dietitian before making significant dietary changes.